All right, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. This is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class being hosted right here at Wilmington, Delaware, 1232 North King Street. Again, that's 1232 North King Street, right here in Wilmington, Delaware. I'll be holding down tonight's class. I'm Officer 5000 Matazapa. Salakia. So if we got any questions, we don't have nobody in yet. If we got any questions in the room, Rabbit Car, if you we can get all questions pertaining to Brotherhood, of course. And so if you got that scripture, I like to, we're just going to start with that scripture right there, man, because it's important. Like I said, like we always say, it's important that we have these Brotherhood classes day in and day out. You would think that like it's something that we would all get, we would all be solid on. We understand Brotherhood. That's it. We don't need brothers to keep talking about it and like pretty much beating a dead horse. But as we can see, these classes are vital. These classes are vital to the salvation, to the, what'd you say? These classes are vital to the salvation of Israel. Like we as Black people have to learn about Brotherhood, and it has to be the same way hatred, you know, like the doctrine of hating your brother was given to you or beaten into you. You know what I mean? Right. The same way we got to go hard and teach our people Brotherhood. So this is one thing that we have to understand first. You got that scripture on Zerabah card?
Khan,
all right, let me get that.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith the Lord God.
As I live, saith Yahweh. Go ahead.
Surely, because my flock became a prey.
Who?
My flock became a prey.
So we all know that the Lord's flock, right? The Lord's flock is sheep. And the Lord's flock have become prey. And this is a metaphor speaking about the children of Israel. And it's saying that the children of Israel became prey to every who?
Khan. And my flock became meat to every beast of the field.
Right, like we have become prey. Right, we don't understand it. Like we don't understand that we're being devoured by the other nations. We understand it in the school. Like once the veil is taken from your eyes, then you understand that it's not just the white man, right? It's everybody we have become prey and meat for every beast of the field. It's not just one beast. And it's showing you, and this is showing you that there's multiple people out there, multiple nations, multiple beasts that are trying to destroy us. There are multiple beasts out there that is devouring us, because we have become prey for every beast of the field. Now, the reason why we've become prey for every beast of the field is because we don't have any good shepherds, right? We don't have leadership that'll warn us, that'll stand in the gap and say, you know what? You ever seen the shepherd? Like the shepherd had that like hook and is able to reel a sheep back in, but also can pop a wolf or something like any type of danger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A good shepherd is supposed to protect the flock, supposed to protect the sheep. And because we don't have any protection, because we don't have any leadership and it's lacking, we just become, anybody can come and pick one of us off. We seen that.
Right.
What, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, they picked 10 sheep off, 12 sheep, picked them off, brains blowed out. What do you say? Brains blowed off. Face blowed off. That's what happened. They was able to come and pick off 10 sheep because we're prey for every beast of the field, right? And that could actually change. That us being prey for every beast of the field can actually change. We don't have to be prey. You know what I mean? We don't have to be prey if we would just wake up. If we just wake up and understand what brothers is teaching out here, man. Brothers, when we come out on the street, man, we come out there to give Black America a backbone. You know what I mean? We give Black America the spirit to fight, to even want to fight. Because sometimes I believe that, you know, Black America, I'm using the term loosely, Black America, right? And you know, that's encompassing Hispanics, Native Americans, Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. We have to go out there and be that strength that they need, right? Because they don't have that strength. A lot of times we go out there, Tazaiwan was speaking, right? Tazaiwan was speaking and the brother came up and the brother said, why all y'all out there, all y'all doing is just speaking about white people. And you got a white person standing right there, like as if we can't talk about the people who destroy us because they standing right there in front of us. Like we can't tell them that what they're doing to us. We can't call them, you know, on, you know, the charges that we bringing up against them.
Right.
Right. And if you notice, this is something that I always pay attention to. Whenever a brother starts talking about Esau, right? Whenever a brother starts blazing on, you know, the devil, watch black people in the crowd. I seen two Jakes. The first Jake, when Tazaiwan was blazing, the Jake walked past the crackhead Edomite and patted him on the shoulder, like as if he felt the need to like coddle him or console him because of what we were saying. Like I seen it. He walked past, patted him on the shoulder and kept on going. And then, you know, Tazaiwan's still going. Remember, it was going on for a minute. Remember, he was, you know, he was on one, right? Trying to get the boot kiss in. And at that time, everybody was watching. If I'm not mistaken, the first Edomite at least she got on her knees, right? I think she got on her knees. And so everybody's watching, you know, everybody watching now for every corner. That intersection was filled with black people watching like, what is these niggas doing? They got this white woman on her knees. What is y'all doing with that white woman? Right. You know that white woman don't belong on her knees like that. You know what I mean? She belong in somebody's bed somewhere. As far as what they, you know, a black man in the world today, like, what the hell is you doing with that white woman? Right. Milk and magnesia, right? And as Tazaiwan is doing that, I seen this one brother, right? He was clean cut. And he walked over to the Edomite and he started talking to the Edomite, right? And he stood there at least for about 20 minutes with the Edomite. And we kind of had caught eyes, right? We had kind of caught eyes. I looked over there. He just happened to be looking over there towards me. And when I seen him, he was like doing a hand gesture, like, you know, like, what is y'all talking? You know what I mean? Like we have a problem. We have a problem with Stockholm syndrome. You know, Stockholm syndrome is where if the person who you have a captive and you have the captor. Right. And the captive over a period of time, right? You've been under this captor so long that when the people come to arrest the captor, you start to feel sympathy and love for the captor. Like, why are you taking him to jail? Why are you doing this? You know what I mean? You start to believe that he's your friend or believe that, you know, it's more to your relationship than you being a slave and he being a captor. Right. And that's what we suffer from. When black people see a strong black man doing what Tazaiwan did, doing what y'all brothers do every Saturday, you know what I mean? Monday through damn Saturday. Black people should stop and be like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because they got the strength to do what we all want, what we all think, but we don't have the spirit to do it, but at least they able to do it. Why would you have a problem with that? You know what I mean? Why do you think black people in today's time have a problem with that, Zarabakar?
The main reason is Christianity.
Seeing a brother like Tazaiwan have an Edomite on the ground paying homage to the children of slaves. Why would black people in 2022 have a problem with that, seeing all the death of black people?
Because of Christianity?
Right, because of Christianity and the doctrines, the tenets of Christianity. You know, the tenets of Christianity, if I'm not mistaken, they teach you can't hate anything. Right. And a lot of times you think you can't. If you do hate anything, like that's going to be the reason why you go to hell. Right. Like The pork ain't going to be the reason why I go to hell. Homosexuality ain't going to be the reason why I go to jail. Being a disgusting bastard ain't going to be the reason why I go to hell. But hating the oppressor for murdering you, Lord have mercy. That's a one-way ticket. Right. A one-way ticket to jail.
Right.
Your Monopoly piece got to go straight to jail. You know, the go to jail free card. Or how, I don't know if it's go to jail or I haven't played Monopoly in a while. But, or you land on something to go straight to jail. That's what they believe. They believe that if they hate, they're going to go straight to jail. And that's something that is detrimental to the Black community because the scripture don't say that. The scripture actually tells Black people it's a time to hate. It is a time to hate. It's a time for love, but brother, it's a time where that hatred that you have for the things that's going on, you know, to your people is warranted. Right. It's warranted. Are we supposed to be happy because the Edomite went in there and shot up 10 Black people? You're supposed to be happy. Right. We're supposed to be willing and ready to forgive him and love him and everything like that. No, that's horrible and crazy. Right. But I think I seen a video where they did say they was already forgiven him. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it was something else, but I seen a video where somebody was forgiving somebody. And that seems to be all we do. Mm-hmm. Right. When the scriptures say for us never to trust these people, man, we keep letting them in. Right. You could drop that. Was there any more on that?
Cannibal Khan.
Matter of fact, read it from the top.
Cannibal Khan, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith Yahweh, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd.
Matter of fact, start that over from the top.
Cannibal Khan.
Something I want to hold.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith Yahweh.
Right. And understand, read on that next part.
Cannibal Khan. Surely because my flock became a prey.
Did we already pass the one part that says, surely as I live? Oh, Salakia, go ahead. That the surely as I live is at the beginning of that part?
Is the beginning of.
All right, go ahead, read that if you could.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
Right, and so we know that this is talking about the Edomites, right? When you go up, you see that this is talking about the Edomites. Right. And how the Edomites have had a perpetual hatred against us. Right? And the Bible is telling you that they have a perpetual hatred against you. And if they're allowed to hate you, why must you love them? At best, even if you didn't want to use the word hate, dislike, damn. Can we use the word dislike? Zerabakar. Can I at least use the word dislike? God damn.
Not to them, sir.
You see what I'm saying? I can only use the word love.
Right, God.
Knowing in my heart, knowing that I don't agree with the words that I'm saying out my mouth. You can't say that. You can't say that you watching Black people die every goddamn day and say that you love these people, man. There's no way. There's no way. You lying to yourself. So like
a lot of times, like when I talk to especially when I talk to Black people at my job and stuff like that, it's just like they're just good at hiding it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you go to work and it's like we live life like where we don't really address reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
right.
Go to work and everything's going on around you. You know what I'm saying? Like what is it? Like the shootings and cops killing and all that kind of stuff, and you just kind of just put it all behind you and just don't really want to address it because it's the truth.
And a lot of us don't want to address it. We don't want to face reality, right? And a lot of us don't want to face reality because you'll be forced to look at the Edomites that's in your life, that's in your job, that's in your school, that's around you, that you got on your Facebook and stuff like that you think you're cool with. You'd be forced to face the reality. that person you think you cool with is not, is they're them as a nation are against your nation. It's hot in here, man. God. All right, read on.
Honorable Khan, sir. Should I start from the top or
you got no? Wherever you was at.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
So, yeah, you already got that one part. The living God. Okay, keep going. You can keep reading down to that.
Okay, Honorable Khan. By the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Verse 6.
Remember Esau was trying to destroy us. You know what I mean? In the time where we was already destroyed, Esau wanted to destroy us more. Right? It's just the same. What's the difference in what we reading from 1,000, 2,000 years ago than what our relationship with them today is? It is no difference. It's the same thing. In the time of our destruction, Esau wants to destroy us more and more and more and more. Because he don't think that he's going to be brought down.
Right.
He's sitting on, what Obadiah say, he's sitting in the throne as God. And he doesn't think that he can be brought down off that throne. But he can be brought down off that throne. All we have to do is utilize brotherhood. If we utilize brotherhood, there's nothing that Esau can do against it, right? Go ahead.
Honorable Khan. Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God.
And mind you, right? This is the power that we serve, right? And the power that we serve lives is a living God.
Right.
Understand that. That's what I wanted to hone in on. Understand that the power that we serve is a living God. It's not the God of these other nations that we're afraid of.
Right.
The nations that we're afraid of, their gods mean nothing. Right, their gods are stones and rocks and freaking dolls and idols. Right, we serve a living God. As I live, saith Yahweh. Read on.
I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
Right, the people who are destroying us. Right. The people that are destroying us, they do have an end coming. Right. It's not like this is going to just last forever. What great nation lasts forever? All of them failed.
Right.
We see it. I mean, that's what we learn in history about great nations that came and nobody ever in the moment of that nation being great, nobody ever thought that nation would fall.
Right.
But something always happened. Events always happen that brought that nation down to its heels, right? And that's the same thing that's happening with America. And you'll be a fool to believe that America's going to last forever. You'll be a goddamn fool to believe that America's going to last forever. Come on now, man. We should already see the building blocks of America starting to fall.
Right.
I see Edomite bums. And this is me, man. I see more Edomite bums than I have ever seen in my life. I can remember a time growing up. And we go to Philly, right? We go to Philly, like when my parents want to ride or do something with us, right? We ain't really get a chance to go to all the amusement parks or nothing like that. But we would like take a ride up to Philly, and they would take the scenic route. You know what I mean? They would take the scenic route. So we'd ride all up through Philly, through the back way, up through the airport and all that. And we would go to the Italian market. Is that South Philly? We would go to the Italian market, right? And we would go to the Italian market. We would spend the day with my parents and stuff like that. And we, that was cool for us, man, get some lunch meat, do this or whatever. But I can remember sometimes on the way, we would stop at like, what was it called? White Castle. We would stop at White Castle and get them little burgers. And every time we would stop at White Castle to get them little burgers, it would always be like a bum or something. You know what I mean? A homeless person would come and ask for change and this and that. But like, I can remember when I was young, it was always somebody black. I couldn't remember it being anybody white. You know what I mean? But then now, like, as I came into the truth, I came in Florida, I would see them tag teaming the block. You know what I mean? Esau, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, 2 on that side. You know what I mean? Esau tag teaming the block. And so to me, I'm able to understand that Man, this is his kingdom crumbling.
Right.
Because at one point in time, this was unheard of.
Right.
Okay. Any more on that? You can keep going. Finish it on out.
Verse 7. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth.
All right, you can drop that. You can drop that. Give me you want to see some brotherhood, man. Give me Matthew 10 and 34. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Itarawa, Yaquam, Parabob. All right, Parabeezy, man. Get on up in here, Parabob. You bring no plates when you come. All right. We ain't had no salmon down here in a while, man. Craig Miller, and Nahalia. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Arlen Fortston. Canada in the building. Tazi Yan. Kwam Gawan. Tazi Allah Makwadaz. Stairwells New. Anisha, y'all just are in pain. Shalom to everybody in the chat. If y'all got any questions, pertaining to brotherhood, let's get it. All right, that's what we're talking about, brotherhood, man. And without it, where are we gonna be? You know what I mean? Where are we gonna be? We're gonna be a nation of slaves. Continue to be a nation of slaves for the next 400 goddamn years. That's where we're gonna be. In 400 years, we're gonna still be slaves if we do not utilize brotherhood. Right? Because brotherhood is what? Brotherhood, if I'm being a brother to you, then naturally I'm going to be following the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. Because all of the law hinges on what? Loving the Lord thy God and loving your brother like you love your goddamn self. Right. That's what it's all about. Ain't that what Paul said? Paul said the royal law is have brotherhood one to another, man. Right. If we could do that, then we can get the hell up out this slavery. Right. Because by proxy, if I have brotherhood towards you, I'm going to be following the law, statutes, and commandments. Right. Right. Give me Matthew 10 and 34, man. This is brotherhood. This is the brotherhood. This is what we should be striving to happen like today. Right. Go ahead. Matter of fact, let me get there with you because I need to see if I need to go up some. We're going to Matthew. What was that? 10 and 32? 34. Right, this is the level of brotherhood that we should have for one another. Matthew 10 and 34. All right, go to 28.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body.
Right. That's what we have a problem with. We have a problem with America because we're afraid of America killing our body. Right? We're afraid that America is going to kill us. We're afraid of the police. We're afraid of, the school shooters. We're afraid of the grocery store shooters. We're afraid of everything, right? But the Bible is telling us to not be afraid of those things. If we started to trust in the Lord a little bit more, then there's no need to be afraid of those things, right? If we had more brothers and sisters joining the school, then they would understand that there's nothing to be afraid of, right? I'm not afraid to go to the grocery store. I'm not afraid to do those things, right? Because I serve the Most High. All right. So the scriptures say, fear not them which can kill the body. Like, don't be afraid of the people that are able to stab you up, right? And kill you. Hit a major artery and you die. Right. Don't be afraid of the people that can shoot you and then, pierce your heart and then you die. Don't be afraid of them that can kill the body. Read on.
But are not able to kill the soul.
Right. These people can kill your body, but that's one thing that they can't kill. They can't kill your soul. Right? Scriptures is telling you, don't fear those people that can kill your body but can't kill your soul. Read on.
but rather fear him, which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right, but fear the Most High, right? That should be taught to black people. We have to start having a level of fear for the Most High, because the Most High is the one that can kill your body and your soul in hell, right? Also, this scripture indicating that hell is here, right? Because if you're dead, how can your body and your soul be killed?
Right. Makes sense.
Right. Right. This is where it's at. It's right here. Also, drop down to 34.
Khan. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Right. Think not. What does that mean? Think not that I am come to send peace.
Don't think.
Right. Think not, right? Don't think that I come to bring peace. Do not think that I've come to bring peace, because I am not coming to bring peace. Right. And that's the level of brotherhood that we should be showing Christ. Should be way higher than what we're showing him right now.
Right.
Right. Christ is showing us that when he come back, don't think that I'm coming to show peace. So why the hell is we trying to show all this goddamn peace? Why the hell are we showing all this goddamn peace? And our big brother coming, he ain't coming to show peace. Why the hell are we trying to show all this peace?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He coming to do what he got to do. He's coming to take rulership, to rightfully claim what's his. That's what we should be doing.
Right.
We should be rightfully claiming what's ours. That's it. There is nothing else out there that we can claim that can give us a sense of rulership, a sense of being above everybody, a sense of, you know what I mean, cohesion. It's nothing out there but being an Israelite.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's nothing out there but being an Israelite that can give us that. And that's what Christ is coming. Christ is not coming to join us to everybody. He's coming to say, I'm an Israelite. The Lord created me to be above everybody. I'm the king. I'm ruling. That's what it's about. And I'm doing it with my brothers.
Right.
I'm ruling with my brothers. This is brotherhood right here. Think not that I come to bring peace, right? Christ ain't coming to bring peace. We should be on one accord with Christ. We should be in the same body. What Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am also of Christ.
Right.
So you know damn well Paul wasn't going to go bring other people in the truth, because he's a follower of Christ. And what Christ said, he didn't come to, he only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and the disciples, he only sent them for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And so Paul's going to do the same mission. But the scriptures say, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. Read on.
Come on. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right. Christ came not to bring peace, but a sword. Of course, we can't go around and start killing people. But this is the sword right now. This is the sword that we bring every goddamn day. Every day I got the sword. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I got my sword and I'm ready. Somebody come to me, they calling, whatever. I got answers. I got solutions. I got, you know what I mean? Whatever. And that's how it has to be, especially for brothers that's in the school and young brothers that's officers. And, you know, you got to be apt to teach. You got to always have that sword. You know what I mean? And that's brotherhood right there. To not always seek peace with the damn oppressor, but to have this sword ready. You know what I mean? On Saturday when we was at camp, y'all brothers had that sword ready. Black people thought we were supposed to go and we were supposed to bring peace to these Edomites, and that we were supposed to love them, and somehow we were supposed to talk to them nice. But no, Tzion did exactly what he was supposed to do and have that Edomite on her goddamn knees kissing boots. Right? Because that's where they belong. Because we're not here to bring peace on earth, but a sword. All right. Question? What is it? All right. Y'all, give me 1 second. Was it 3 and 3? Does that include our family? Oh, okay. So, all right. So, Zabra Bakar, let me get Amos 3, and we'll start at 1.
Khan. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Right. It says, hear the word, right? Which the Lord has spoken unto you or against you, O children of Israel. So we know who's speaking and who's being spoken to, right? Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying,
right. This and everybody, all y'all, right? Not some of y'all, all y'all, right? The whole family which I brought up out of the land of Egypt, right? I'm speaking to all y'all. Go ahead.
You only
and mind you that the Lord is speaking to all Israel, even the brothers who are righteous. See what I'm saying? Even the brothers who was righteous was in captivity as well. The priests and prophets, they was in captivity as well. The Lord is speaking to everybody, right? That's why we got to get everybody on one accord with this brotherhood thing, right? Because when the Lord speaks to us, he speaks to all of us. Like when we go through hardship, we go through it all together.
Right.
Right. Against the whole family, right? Whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, read on.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Right. Also being a scripture that we use to show that the Lord only loves Israel.
Right.
Right. Out of all the families of the earth, the Lord is saying that he has only known Israel. So when we go and we disobey the voice of the Most High, like the Most High is angered at that, right? And it makes the Lord angry. It doesn't make the Lord angry when Esau does whatever, all these nations do whatever they do, but it does make the Lord angry when we disobey him, right? Go ahead.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Because the Lord only knows us. Just like I said, he's only punishing us for our wrongdoings, right? The Lord, because you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all of your iniquities, right? Go ahead.
Khan. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Now, when it says can two walk together, like I can't walk with a Christian, right? We're not agreed. Right, I can't walk with, the fake Israelites. Right, we're not agreed. We tell them every year that to come to the Passover, that the school is open to join this one body, get back up in here. Right, they was all up in here at one point in time, and they left and created these new doctrines. But now we not agreed because I can't walk. I can't walk with you while you saying that. COVID-19 is the microchip and all that goofy stuff now. Damn, now I guess that doctrine then went away out the door. Now that doctrine left with COVID-19. Right, then how can I walk together with a brother that's teaching that it's okay to rape? You know what? And I seen that come across my timeline. I think that was yesterday. On like one of them channels, I think it was Sunday, Black News 102 or something. But they still talking about that doctrine. It's like they keeping it going. You know what I mean? We didn't already debunk the whole. It ain't no damn raping in the Bible, right? But somehow they keeping it going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They got some nutcase on there talking about it's okay to bust a woman in the head and rape her. No, we cannot walk together.
Right.
Because we're not agreed. Right. Now, family members. It's nothing different. It's the same thing when it comes to a family member. Right. How can we walk together if we're not agreeing on certain things? If you still eating pork and I'm not, and you don't see the wrong in it. Right. Or if you celebrating holidays, how can we necessarily, that doesn't mean I don't love you. Mm-hmm. But how can we really walk together? We understand that Christ is separating us anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? What he said, what Christ say? I come to set a man at variance with his father. I come to set a woman at variance with a daughter.
Right.
Right. So essentially we can't walk together. Does that mean I hate you? No, that doesn't mean I hate you. I love you. You are my cousin. You are my mom. You are my father. You my brother. You my sister. You feel me? You still my family member, but
right.
I got to keep doing what I got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? What I got to keep doing. Like, because you don't see the value in the truth right now doesn't mean I'm going to stop walking in the truth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I see the value in the truth. So that's why I have to be here every day. You know what I mean? You might not be at that point. I pray to the Lord that you do get it. But if you don't, Lord be with you.
Right.
Lord be with you. I hope that I mean, y'all get me right. If y'all want to add to it, solid. Itara, if you got it. All right. If you're solid, let me know. All right. So right. So we gotta love one another, right? Brotherhood. We gotta love one another like Christ loved us, right? The same level of love that Christ is, the same level of love that Christ has for us, we have to have for Black people too. Right. He's willing to come and not try to seek peace with the goddamn oppressor, man. Right. He's willing to come and say, you know what? I ain't trying to love them. Damn all that. Damn that. I'm coming to bring a sword. Right. Think not that I come to bring peace. That's the type of mind frame that we need to be in. That's the mindset that I be in. When I say I love y'all brothers, I'm here because Zariah Bakar, I love you. Captain Tazaiwan, I love you. Y'all, brothers and sisters that's online. I'm here for that reason. And guess what? I'll never seek to have peace with the goddamn oppressor because I come to bring a sword, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Every Saturday, I damn near be like, hey, Tazai, well, let me go up first. You know what I mean? Right. So I can get it popping, so I can bring that sword. Because I be ready to go. You know what I mean? I be ready to go. When it comes to time for Saturday, let's go. That's my way of blazing. That's my way of getting back for all the things that I got to go through and suffer through during the week, man. All right. Salakia. Salakia, right? So I got a slave memoir that I wanted to read real quick, right? And the slave memoir that I wanted to read is, and I like to read these every now and again because it's a way for us never to forget, our aunts and uncles and grandmoms and grandpops and brothers and sisters that suffered, right? That suffered through these things. And it actually is a slap of reality. Remember earlier, Tazaiwan was talking about the people in this job just don't want to just face reality. Right. And sometimes in order for a person to understand that they suffer from Stockholm syndrome, they have to be faced with reality. You have to show them what the oppressor, what that captor is doing to him. You have to show him, like, this is your position. You're really a slave. This is what he's doing to you. Mm-hmm. This is what he's really doing to everybody else that's with you, for you to understand that, you know what? I am being taken advantage of. This relationship that we have is not right, and it has to change. Right. So, like I said, I like to read these. So these are reality checks. These slave memoirs come from 80 and 94-year-old men and women. And these are the words that come from, remember the Bible said the words that was written aforetime was written for your learning. Right. Right. So we can still use the words of our brothers and sisters to learn. Right. To learn about the goddamn enemy, right? And why, and that we have an enemy. These people let you know that we have an enemy. Zariah Bakar, if you could come up and get this book, it's called When I Was a Slave, right? Memoirs from the Slave Narrative Collection, right? We're going to read this slave memoir real quick by Harriet Robinson. If you could just read that. So if anybody wants to chime in, hold on one second. It says, do y'all make the hot dogs at y'all cookout or do you buy them from the white man? Now, Of course, we have to buy them from the white man, numb nuts, because the Bible says that we have to go to our enemy in want of all things.
Right.
The Bible says we have to go to them for food, for water, for clothing. So yes, we have to buy our hot dogs from the white man, and that's why we have to have these classes so that we can get brothers and sisters to have more brotherhood, right? So that one day we can have this on our own. So one day we don't have to go to the oppressor, right? So that we can do what the Bible said to do, to obey the voice of the Most High, so that we can be on high of these stinking nations. You filthy whoever stone critic is, sound like an Edomite.
Right.
The water, if I could. Who else will we buy the goddamn food from? All right, you can leave that. Let me get the slave memoirs. After Tazaiwan, you got a scripture? Y'all bear with me real quick.
Okay, yeah. It's like it. Oh, I don't know what you're going.
What you Deuteronomy or something?
No, don't worry about it. No, it's like it.
All right, so we're gonna keep it moving. Go ahead, Zariah Car.
It's like him out. One.
Yeah, 111.
Okay, kind of a
Mm-hmm. We're gonna keep it moving.
This is called the book is called When I Was a Slave. This is page 111. It says Harriet Robinson, interview at Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
The interviewer is not identified. Age when interview was 94.
This is what's more important. What happens, us talking about brotherhood and us talking about black men and women coming together, right? So we can start to obey the voice of the Most High. And we got goofies in the chat that would ever worry about what we cook and where we get the goddamn food from. When we trying to talk about and we trying to remember Harriet Robinson, that was the name. Harriet, we trying to remember Harriet Robinson, and we got people that would want to try to disrupt that.
Right.
We got people that would try to even. Why would you even try to disrupt that? You know why? Because there's people out there that have a problem with black people having brotherhood with one another.
Right.
There's people out there that want to disrupt the program, that want to disrupt you from learning about your God. You know what I mean? And how to serve your God. And that's why we're in here to do these classes, to fight against nonsense. Okay? The nonsense that why would someone ever come in and try to take knock a young brother off his game?
Right.
So he can stop learning about the Lord. You know what I mean? Goofy stuff. Hot dogs. Go ahead. Harriet Robinson. How old was she?
94.
94. Go ahead. Nice and loud.
I was born September 1st, 1842 in Bastrop, Texas.
Right.
On Colorado River.
Uh-huh.
My pappy was named Harvey Wheeler and my mammy, Carolina Sims.
Right. So she's from Texas. Go ahead.
My brothers and sisters were named Alex, Taylor, Mary, Cicero, Tennessee, Sarah, Jeff, Ella, and Nora.
She had a lot of brothers and sisters, right? Go ahead.
My sister, Lisa, was mulatto, and Master Colonel Sims' son had 3 children by her.
Right. So she was a mulatto, right? Meaning that she was mixed and she was lighter. And the master's son had 3 kids by her, right? Go ahead.
Khan. We never seen her no more after her last child was born.
And for the life of me, for a race of people that supposed to hate you so much and think that you're just so disgusting, so stupid, and so dumb, would ever have 3 kids with you, right? Go ahead.
I found out, though, that she was in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I nursed 3 white children.
Did what?
I nursed 3 white children.
That's when Tazaiwan was reading that scripture the other day where it said, our kings should, what did it say? Our queens shall be, thy queens shall be, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right,
our nursing mothers, whatever like that. I'm like, it's nothing wrong in that. It's nothing wrong in what the brother was reading. Didn't we do that for them? Ain't that what this say? That she nursed their kids, 3 white children. Right? So what does that mean? If she's able to nurse 3 white children, that means her children, the nursing for her children is lacking. Right? Because she has to nurse these 3 white children. Go ahead.
Khan. Lulu, Helen Augusta, and Lola Sims. I done this before the war that set us free.
Right. And so this was all going on before the war supposedly set them free. Go ahead.
We kids used to make extra money by toting gravel in our aprons.
Right. So they used to carry gravel in their aprons. Right. And they would make a little extra money. Go ahead.
They give us dimes and silver nickels. We lived in cedar log houses with dirt floors and double chimneys.
Right. So she's giving you the backdrop, right? She's giving you the backdrop. And so now, based on like the different things, the different way that she's breaking it down, you can kind of get how life was, on the plantation or where they were at, right? Go ahead.
Khan. And doors hung on wooden hinges.
Right. And the doors hung on what kind of hinges?
Wooden hinges.
The doors was on wooden. Damn, I don't even think I ever seen a wooden hinge before. I know that door was loud as hell. It was on a wooden hinge. Go ahead.
Khan. One side of our beds was bored in the walls and had one leg on the other. Them white folks give each nigger family a blanket in winter.
Hey, they give you, did they say a family? What they said?
Each nigger family.
They give each nigger family, right? What?
A blanket in winter.
Damn. It didn't say a blanket for every person. Just said they just give you each nigger family a blanket. So depending on how many people you have in your house, you know what I mean? You 9 times out of 10 gotta get all the kids together so that they can sleep under the blanket, and you do it however you suffice however you gotta suffice. Right? Go ahead.
Khan.
Mind you, this is the people that rule America today. This is the people that rule America today. This is the people that want us to join their political system, right? This is the people that want us to not have a problem with police brutality. This is the people that want us to not have a problem with the position that we have in America. These are those people that we're reading about. Go ahead.
Khan. Our clothes was wool and cotton mixed.
Right. The clothes was wool and cotton. Go ahead.
We had red rustic shoes, soles 1/2 inch thick.
Soles 1 inch half thick. Go ahead.
Khan. They go a wick a whack.
Making noise. They said they go a wick a whack. Making noise, man. They got 1 inch, 1.5 inch shoes on, and they make a lot of damn noise when they walk, right? Go ahead.
The men's had pants with one seam and a right hand pocket.
Right, and they had one pocket on the pants. Go ahead.
Boys wore shirts. We ate hominy.
Right, so they ate the hominy, right? Go ahead.
Mush.
Mush is just mush. Just who knows what mush is made of? Just mush. Right, go ahead.
Grits. And pone bread for the most part.
Right, so and look what kind of diet. Look what kind of diet that was. right? We didn't hear of no protein being in that diet. No real protein, right? And this is what we had to always survive from. And we had to survive from hominy. We had to survive off grits. We had to survive off mush and bread from the same people that, these are the same people that claim they love us today. They claim they love us today, but yesterday you was feeding me mush. Yesterday you was feeding me, hominy and bread. Worse than damn. At least in jail you get bread and water. You feeding me like, I'm a slave. Right, go ahead. And not a friend, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. Many of them ate out of one tray with wooden spoons.
Right, many people ate out of one tray with a wooden spoon. Go ahead.
All victuals for field hands was fixed together.
Right, all the food for the field hands was fixed together. Right, so they got all their food together. Go ahead.
Women broke in mules.
So the women, they would break into mules. Right, but they would be the ones that, break them in. Go ahead.
Throw them down and rope them.
They would throw them down, rope them, right? They would get the mules, right? Go ahead.
They do it better in men.
Right, they said they did. According to Harriet, the women broke in the mules better than the men, right? Go ahead.
While Mammy made some hominy, one day both my foots were scalded.
Right, so... now at this point in the story, right, Harriet is saying her mom was making some hominy and her feet got scalded. It doesn't tell how the feet got scalded, but the feet was scalded. Go ahead.
And when they clipped them blisters,
right, they had to clip the blisters. Go ahead.
They put some cotton round them and catch all that yellow water and made a yellow dress out of it.
Go ahead.
This was way back yonder in slavery before the war.
Right, and so they're talking about slavery before the war, right?
Kind.
Still like it. Go ahead.
Whenever white folks had a baby born,
and I think this statement that they're about to make, I believe this is in one of Tazaiwan's book where it says they were her property.
Yeah.
Whenever there was a white baby born. Right? Pay attention to this part right here. Whenever there was a white baby born, go ahead.
Then all the old niggers.
They said all the old niggas. So they calling your mom. They calling your dad. They calling Big Mama. Yeah, Big Mama, you too. They calling your granddad. They call all the old niggas, right? Ain't that what it said? Call all, when a white baby was born, they call all the old niggas, right? Go ahead.
Had to come through the room and the master would be over behind the bed.
Right. So they would call all the older black men and women in the room. And everybody would have to stand around the crib or stand around the bed, right? And the slave master would be standing behind the bed. Go ahead.
And he said.
And what'd he say?
Here's a new little mistress.
Here's a new little what?
Mistress or master you got to work for.
Now imagine that. You telling some 60-year-old man, some 70-year-old man, some 50-year-old man, 80, that this is a new master that you got to work for. This piece of little garbage. You know what I'm saying? You telling me this is my master. This person can't even speak. And this is a master that I have to work for. Right. And this is coming from the people that's supposed to love us, man. This is coming from the people who tell us every day that I am your brother, that I love you. That's what they do in so many words. Now, I can't tell you how many white people come up to me and say, bro, and all that kind of, you know what I mean? Every day you calling me your brother, but this is how you treat me. Every day, this is how you treat me. Right. The love and the brotherhood that we seek so much from them, to gain from them, we should want to gain that. We should want to give the brotherhood that I have in me to give away. I need to give that to another black man. You know what I mean? I need to give that to a brother, right? And not America. Go ahead, keep reading.
Khan. You have to say, Yes, sir, master.
You had to say what?
Yes, sir, master.
So even if that was boiling, even if that was, if that it got you tight. What they used to say, 38. It got me 38 hot. I'm looking at this little red-faced piece of garbage, and this dude is telling me that this is my new master that I got to work for and I got to answer to. And what was that last part? What it said?
And say, yes, sir, master.
And you had to say, yes, sir, master. You had to say, yes, sir, master. And this is the reason why we read these things. It might seem boring. Oh, man, slave memoirs. Yeah, but you have to be read this, right? Because the same person that's out there saying, why the hell are we reading this slave memoir is the same person that has a problem with brotherhood, that has a problem with loving a goddamn oppressor, right? Read on.
Kind of a con.
Somebody said, what's the name of the book?
This is, you don't got you got the chat open? Somebody got the chat open? Because I'm gonna just type it in.
I got my phone.
Oh, yeah, that's not, I don't have it open, but I can.
Name it real quick.
It's called When I Was a Slave, Memoirs from the Slave Narrative Collection. Dover Thrift Editions.
I was a slave. All right, it's in the chat. When I was a slave, this book you can get on Amazon. Of course, I believe it's less than $10, right? Awesome book. Go ahead. Wait till you see some of the other stories in there. Oh my God, you be like, make you mad. Go ahead.
And bow real low.
Right.
Or the overseer will crack you.
Right. And you had to bow. You had to bow down to this baby. And not only did you have to bow down, right? Even the Chinese people don't bow down. Like, they just give you a little bow. It said if you didn't bow down low, he'd crack you. Know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Crack you right upside your head with something. Let you don't bow down to this new overseer, this new master, the new future president of America. Let you not bow down to the new future president of America. Crack you right upside your dome, right? Upside your noggin. Crack you right upside your block. That's how Mom used to say it. Crack you right upside your block. Go ahead. Oh, it didn't.
No, it went through.
It went through. I only wrote it. You see that right there?
Yeah.
I guess it didn't go through, but the book was one of them went. Oh, okay. Oh, so okay. So it's trying to go through on every page. So if you could keep going.
Kind of a con. Them was slavery days, dog days.
Them was dog. Y'all ever heard of dog days? Those were slavery days, dog days. Right? Those was dog days. Read on.
Kind of a con. My mammy belonged to the Master Colonel Sam Sims.
Right. So her mom belonged to one dude, right? The Colonel Sims or whatever. Read on.
And his old mean wife,
right.
Julia.
She belonged to him, and he had a who wife?
Mean wife.
Man, I'm telling you, Negroes gonna learn about these goddamn Caucasian women. You gonna learn about them. You know what I'm saying? Negroes running around thinking they just all so sweet and humble and just quiet and everything that the black woman isn't. But when we go into these books, we see that she was more horrible in some cases than the white man. And especially that book that what's that? What is it called? When they were her slave, they were her property. When they were her property is a book about women, the women slave masters, and how horrible they were. And they were horrible. Beat the little babies until they die. Blood be running out of their eyes, Pampers and all that. They'll kill you. They'll straight up kill you. And guess what? That's the woman that the black man in America choose to love, choose to sleep next to. Right? Go ahead.
Kind of a con.
And it says she was mean. Keep that in mind. She was a mean slave master. Go ahead.
My pappy belonged to Master Meek Smith and his good wife Harriet.
Right, and her father belonged to a different slave master, and her father belonged to a different slave master, and his wife was supposed to be a good white woman. Right, go ahead.
She was sure a good woman. I was named after her.
Right, and this Harriet
Robinson.
Harriet Robinson was named after that lady. Right, go ahead.
Khan. Master Sam and Master Meek was partners. Every year, them rich white men would send too many wagons to New Mexico for different things.
Right. So they would send wagons. Right. Those two slave masters were. What they said they were. They worked together, and they would send wagons to New Mexico to go get supplies, to go get things. Right. Go ahead.
Khan. It took 6 months to go and come.
Right. And you know, a lot of these trips, they would take a long time. It would take 6 months to go to New Mexico to go get whatever you had to get and to come back. Right. Go ahead.
Khan. Slaves was punished by whip and starving.
Right. And that's how they would do. And you know, when we talk about the pain that we go through, the struggle that we go through, when we talk about the things that white America, you know, do to us, they tell us to forget about it. How can you forget about somebody whipping you and starving you to goddamn death, man?
Right.
Whipping you and starving you. So that's how I'm supposed to get in order. That's how I'm supposed to get right. And then wait till you see how many lashes they used to get. God damn. It's unheard of. It's really unheard of. But these people would starve us. And they would beat us, right? For nothing. Go ahead.
Khan. Decker was sure a mean slaveholder.
Who?
Decker.
Decker was a mean slaveholder. Go ahead.
He lived close to Master Sam.
Right, and he lived close to one of the slave masters. Right. Go ahead. The other slave masters. Go ahead.
Select it. Oh, he lived close to us. Master Sam didn't never whip me.
Right. The Sam didn't whip him. Go ahead.
But Miss Julia whipped me every day in the morning.
Right. But his wife would. Right. The wife would whip her. The wife. The husband wouldn't. But that lady, that slave master lady, right? She would. How many times would she whip her?
Every day in the morning.
Every morning, man. Imagine waking up and getting a whipping every morning because this lady hates you.
Right.
Like I couldn't even take a beating every, you know what I mean? I couldn't even take a beating every day from my mom and step-pop.
Right.
Nobody want one of them every day.
Right.
You know what I mean? To drive a car. And then guess what? You can't try to fool the slave master. You can't come in there with 5 pairs of pants on, 5 pair of underwear, 5 pair of drawers before you get your whipping.
Right.
Like we used to do with moms before she caught on. You can't come in there like that. You got to come in there and get a whipping, man. In some places, 100, 200, 300 lashes. Man, 300 lashes that eat down to the bone, man. 300 lashes that eat you down to the bone.
Right.
Go ahead, Robert Carr. Keep going.
Khan. During the war, she beat us so terrible, she say, your master's out fighting and losing blood trying to save you from them Yankees.
Right, and she would beat them because she's like, all right, your master's out and he's at war with the Yankees, right? He's at war with the South and he's out there fighting. So you know what? As long as he out there fighting, you going to get this butt whipping. You going to get this ASS whipping every morning. Because I have to actually fight to keep a slave, I'm going to beat you every day. Because that's what the war was over. The South wanting to keep slaves and the North like, nah, you can't keep the slaves. You're getting too rich. Right? You're getting too rich. And This woman beat the slaves every day because her husband was in a war to keep the slaves, right? He was fighting to keep the slaves. And because he was fighting to keep the slaves, because there was a chance that they was going to lose their free labor, she beat this woman every day. Right, go ahead.
Khan.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get your here.
So you can get yours here. He out there getting his butt whipped on the battlefield. You can get your butt whipped right here. Go ahead.
Miss Julia will take me by my ears.
Imagine that. You ever been grabbed by your ear before?
Khan.
Grandma or somebody grab you by your ear. That hurt.
Right, Khan.
That hurt to grab somebody by the ear. That's why your parents do that. That's something that they would do to you while you was a kid. Grab you by your goddamn ear. It hurts. And she would grab this woman by her ears, man. Right? Go ahead. Our ancestors would grab her by her ears. This piece of garbage would grab our ancestor by her ears and do what?
And butt my head against the wall.
And do what?
Butt my head against the wall.
And take her head and smash it against the goddamn wall. That's what this Edomite used to do to Harriet Robinson. Grab her by the goddamn ears and smash her head against the walls. For what reason? Other than their perpetual hatred against the children of Israel. Go ahead.
Khan.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to whip my mother.
She wanted to try to whip her moms. Right, but remember her mom, the lady who's beating her wasn't owned by her mom wasn't owned by her. Go ahead.
But old master told her, no, sir.
Nah, you can't. Nah, not this one. You can't beat her. Go ahead.
When his father done gave when his father done gave my mammy to Master Sam, he told him not to beat her.
Right. And so when she was given to another slave master, he said, look, don't beat her. Right. Go ahead.
And if
that's the only way you won't get your behind whipped. Is if one of these slave masters feel something for you and say, you know what, this one right here, I kind of like this one. Don't beat her, but free reign on her daughter. You can beat the hell out of her daughter every day, though. You can beat her daughter every day. She can get her ass whipping every day. Salaki for my language. You can beat her every day. But, you know, her mom served me so long. She did such a great job in this house. You know, don't touch her. But you don't love her enough to say, don't touch her kids. Right? This is the beast who we dealing with, man. This is the beast who we under. Right? This is the beast, one of the beasts that we getting devoured by in the field. Go ahead, Zarabakar, you can keep it going.
Khan. And if he got to where he just had to, just bring her back and place her in his yard from where he got her.
Go ahead.
White folks didn't allow you to read or write.
They didn't what?
Allow you to read or write.
White folks didn't want you to read or write. Why do you think they didn't want you to read or write? Because then you would start to know things, right? And remember, the oppressor always wanted to have an upper hand on us, because one thing that the oppressor knows is he doesn't want us on an equal playing field.
Right.
He do not want no nigga on no equal playing field, because if the minute a nigga get on the equal playing field, we're gonna surpass him, right? He understands that we have that ability. We have the ability to surpass him and leave him in the dust. Right. That's why any and everything that we've always had, he's worked hard to try to destroy. OK, I'm gonna tell you, even he worked hard to even beguile us into thinking that civil rights, because half of the people that was in the civil rights was white people, too.
Right.
And those white people was walking hand in hand with these niggas like, yeah, we the good white people. We the good white people. Well, what we think that you should do is we think that you should fight for civil rights. And we think that you should fight for integration. And you know what? We're going to walk with you, and we're going to march, and we're going to do this, and we're going to sit in with you, and we're going to do all that with you so you can get these civil rights and be destroyed for the rest of your goddamn lives. So like
the leadership can't be that dumb. They got to be, you know what I'm saying? They got to be just doing it for like gain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it got to be.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where you know, they gain from it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you can't be that dumb.
Right.
You know?
Now, like you said, they actually know that they get gain, right? Because remember when Christ was going around, and the Sadducees and Pharisees was like, nah, we got to put an end to this. I'm just paraphrasing. Nah, we got to put an end to this, because if we don't, we're going to lose our seat with the Romans. Remember, that's in like John, the first chapter. It was like, we're going to lose our seat with the Romans. And that's how these niggas is today. Like, nah, we ain't going to teach no truth. Nah, we ain't going to tell them, you know, we ain't going to try to ruffle the feathers of white people too much. You know, we ain't going to say nothing. Yeah, we're going to go out and dissipate the energy, right? The revolutionary energy and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because if we don't, we're going to lose our position of power in America.
Right.
And we're going to be just like the regular niggas. Go ahead.
Remember, the Sadducees was doing the same thing with Paul and Peter.
Right.
You know, they was even going to try to kill Lazarus.
Right.
It was like, you got to kill him too.
Mm-hmm. They killed Stephen too. They was knocking off everybody.
Right.
Trying to. Didn't they hit Paul? They went upside his head.
Yeah.
They hit Paul, stone Paul, put Paul in the because remember, Paul got stoned. I think they threw stones at Paul, but Paul didn't die.
Right.
They threw Paul in jail. They did everything, man. They
thought he was dead.
Yeah. Golly. Bob, for the play this real quick. No, it's like this. Where's we at? Could you keep going, Jabbar McCarr?
Cannibal Khan.
The water for everybody in the chat that's sticking, rocking with us, man. Go ahead.
Cannibal Khan. Got to. Okay. White folks didn't allow you to read or write.
Mm-hmm.
Them what did know come from Virginia. Mistress Julia used to drill her children in spelling any words.
Right. Some people didn't know how to read and write, but there were ones that knew how to read and write. That's what it's saying. Right. And these particular people was learning from somebody named whatever that name was, Virginia. And they were being drilled in like learning words, right? Go ahead.
And every word them chillin' miss, she give me a lick across the head for it.
Imagine that. She's trying to teach the children words, right? And if the children miss the words, she cracked me in the head for it. You see what I'm saying?
Cannibal Khan.
Harriet, imagine that, man. Harriet lived a life of abuse. Harriet lived a life of abuse at the hands, suffering a life of abuse at the hands of the oppressor, man. Not only was she getting beat every day, but she was also getting cracked upside her head if the kids missed a word that the slave master was trying to teach them, and they go to recite these words, or they go to have a spelling bee or whatever it was. It doesn't say what, you know what I mean? But if they would miss those words, then she would get cracked upside her head. Come on now. Come on now. This is America. Go ahead.
Cannibal Khan. Meanest woman I ever seen in my whole life.
She was the what?
Meanest woman.
Uh-huh. You got it.
Cannibal Khan.
She was the meanest woman that Harriet had ever seen in her life because of the trauma that Harriet had been through. Because of the pain, the life of pain that Harriet went through, the life of abuse that Harriet went through. Nobody should suffer that type of abuse. You know what I mean? When you go through life, life ain't easy, but nobody should suffer that kind of abuse, right, at the hands of somebody else. Okay, and this lady was able to endure that. She was able to endure it and live her life, right? And she's, 94 years old telling this story. Read on.
Cannibal Khan. This skin I got now ain't my first skin.
Mm-hmm.
That was burnt off when I was a little child.
Mm-hmm.
Mistress used to have fire made on the fireplace,
mm-hmm.
and she made me scour the brass around it, and my skin just blistered.
Right. So the skin that you see is not the skin that she first had, because the skin that you see was skin that's been burnt, skin that's been blistered, damaged and grown back over. Right, go ahead.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to keep pulling it off me.
Mm-hmm. Just keep pulling, man. Look, God, that's horrible. Right, go ahead.
Con. We didn't had no church.
Mm-hmm. They ain't have no church at this time. Go ahead.
Though my pappy was a preacher.
Well, on this plantation, right? They didn't have a church on this plantation, even though her father was a preacher. Go ahead.
He preached in the quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Our baptizing song was, on Jordan's stormy bank I stand, and hark from the tomb.
Right, and we always had some type of song. Right, we always had, and they singing a song. That's a Negro spiritual, man. On the river banks of Jordan I stand. Right, that's us, man, in our spirit, wishing that we was back in Israel, wishing we was back in Jerusalem. You know, in our spirit, we like, damn, I'm standing on the banks of the River Jordan. You know what I mean? In my homeland, and not this place right here, not this place of my captivity. Go ahead.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
Now all that was before the war.
Right, that was all before the war, right? Go ahead.
We had all our funerals at the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody chilling and all.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up a cloud of dirt and throwed it on top of the coffin to help fill up the grave.
Right, so everybody would do that. Right, everybody would, even the children, when you would bury one of your own, you would bury a brother, you would bury a sister, everybody would come and grab a piece of that dirt and throw it in.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
Talking about niggers running away, didn't my step-pappy run away?
Mm-hmm. Talking about niggas running away, her step-pappy ran away. Go ahead. She's about to tell you that story. Go ahead.
Didn't my Uncle Gabe run away?
Mm-hmm. Her step-pappy ran away. Her Uncle Gabe ran away. Go ahead.
The frost would just bite thy toes most nights off too, whilst they was gone.
Right. So, as they were gone, it was cold out there, right? And the frost, where they said the frost would bite your toes off. Go ahead. And these brothers is out there. These brothers is willing to endure that. That's how horrible life was on these plantations, where a brother is willing to go out into the natural elements of the goddamn earth and just, who knows what's going to happen out there? You know what I mean?
Right.
The frost is so bad, you could get frostbitten. Bears, is lions, is tigers, is all types of stuff in the woods. Who knows? I don't know. All that stuff ain't in the woods, but you know what I'm saying. It's just danger in the woods, man. Go ahead.
Con. They put Uncle Issam, my step-pappy, in jail, and while he was in there, he killed a white guardsman.
Right, and so they put our uncle in jail. While he was in there, he killed one of the white guardsmen. Go ahead.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put in the paper, a nigger to kill, and our master seen it and brought him.
Read that part one more time, Salakia.
Con. Then they put in the paper, a nigger to kill.
A nigger to kill. Go ahead.
And our master seen it and brought him.
And so they was gonna kill this dude, right? And then the master seen it and brought him. Go ahead.
He was a double strength man.
Mm-hmm.
He was so strong.
He was double strength, meaning he had the strength of two brothers, right? He was double strength. The brother was very strong. Go ahead.
He'd run off.
Mm-hmm.
So help you God.
Mm-hmm. He's going to run off. This brother right here, he's strong as an ox. He's leaving, right? This brother, he's not having it, right? He's going to run off. Go ahead.
They had the bloodhounds after him.
Right, now, you already know. We've seen all the movies, man. They send the bloodhounds after you. Go ahead.
They had the bloodhounds after him once, and he caught the hound what was leading and beat the rest of the dogs.
Right. The brother was strong, right? And so the bloodhounds get there and he beat the shit out he beat the hell out the bloodhounds. So like it from my language. He beat the hell out the bloodhounds, man. That's what I'm talking about. The Lord was with that brother.
Right.
Because most of the times by the time the dogs catch you, that's it, man. Dogs catching you tired. You ain't got no fight left in you, you know what I mean? You just pretty much all right, I'm caught now. But he beat the hell out of the dogs, right? Go ahead.
Con. the white folks run up on him before he knowed it and made them dogs eat his ear plum out.
Right. His ear what?
Plum.
His ear plum. Right. So, Slovakia. Did it say eardrum or
ear plum, sir?
And so he beat up the lead dog, right? Slovakia. He beat up the lead dog. Then by the time the slave masters get there, they beat him up so bad. I don't know. I ain't got Slovakia. Slovakia, y'all bear with. Oh, hold on, Slovakia. Oh, they talking about keloids. Slovakia, I'm not sure what an ear plum is.
Maybe like an eardrum.
Yeah, it got to be something. It's something to deal with the ear, man. He beat him up so bad, he ruptured his ear, bust his ear up. You know what I mean?
Come.
Go ahead.
But don't you know he got away anyhow?
Still got away. How? Still got away. Go ahead.
One morning, I was sweeping out the hall in the big house, and somebody can't come a knocking on the front door. And I goes to the door.
So somebody came knocking on the door. She goes to the door. Go ahead.
There was Uncle Isum with rags all on his head.
Right. And this brother, it's this brother, right? The brother that ran away, and he's there at the door with these rags on his head. Go ahead.
He said, "Tell old master, here I am."
Tell the master, here I am. You was looking for me. Well, here I go. Here I am. Right? Knocked on the door. Tell him he was looking for me. Here I am. Go ahead.
I goes to master's door and says, "Master Colonel Sam."
So he goes. She does what he asked, what her uncle asked, right? And she goes to the slave master and she says, "Slave master, read on."
Uncle Isum said, "Here he am."
Right, my uncle back. He said, "Here you go. You was looking for me. Here I go." Right, go ahead.
He say, "Go around to the kitchen and tell Black Mammy to give you breakfast."
Right, go ahead.
When he was through eating, they give him 300 lashes.
They hit that low. They fed him. Hey, they fed him first, the Rabakar. Got him some food. Go around there to the kitchen. What did it say? Go around there and get what?
Get him some breakfast.
Right. Go around there and get him some breakfast, Salakia.
Well, why they beat him though?
Because remember, he had ran away.
Oh.
Remember, he was the brother that ran away. He had beat up the dogs. He had beat up their lead dog or whatever. And they said he still got away. And then he just came back and was like, "Yo, tell him tell the slave master, here I am." You know what I mean? And so he like, "All right, we'll go around there and go get him a plate. Go get him a plate of breakfast." And after that, how many lashes they gave him?
300.
300. Not 30. Not 3. But they gave him 300 lashes, man. I know we've all seen the goddamn movies, man. How you ever seen when the whip hits your back, how like split the skin and the blood just what? And then the blood just splatter.
Right.
The skin split and the blood splatter. Imagine that 300 times, man. You beat a brother, beat him down to the bone. Right? You be then lashed him to damn near 300 lashes. It's probably hard to live after that.
Right.
Right? But this brother got 300 lashes. Probably seen all the food he ate. Right? Go ahead.
And bless my soul, he run off again.
After them 300 lashes, he said, "I don't even know why he came back. It's 300 lashes." He said, "Nah, that was a stupid move coming back. Let me go ahead and take my chances with the wilderness." And he ran off again. Go ahead.
Khan. When we went to a party, the nigger fiddlers would play a tune that went like this.
And when they would go to the party, remember on they had one of the slaves' name was Fiddler. Remember they used to call him, his name was Fiddler. What was that? What was that? Roots. On Roots. They had a brother on there named Fiddler. They would call Fiddler, and Fiddler would come and play some music for him. You know what I mean? When white people want to dance or when they would have some type of an event or something like that, they want to play music, they would call Fiddler. So right here, they're saying what was that part? Zababakar? They went to a party And called some fiddlers.
Con.
Go ahead.
When we went to a party, the nigger fiddlers would play a tune that went like this.
This is the tune that the fiddlers would play. Go ahead.
I fooled old master 7 years.
I fooled old master 7 years. Go ahead.
Fooled the overseer 3.
I fooled the overseer 3.
Hand me down my banjo.
Hand me down my banjo.
My banjo?
My band, B-A-N-G-O?
J-O.
I mean, Salaki. B-A-N-G-O. Salaki. B-A-N-J-O. Somebody gonna make a clip like, see that can't spell. B-A-N-J-O. Yeah. Hand me my banjo. Go ahead.
And I'll tickle your belly.
And I'll tickle your belly. Right? It was pretty much a song on how they was able to get away from the slave master and the overseer. Go ahead.
Con. When he had this, we had the same doctors the white folks had.
Right, they had the same doctors the white folks. Do you think they was getting the same level of care that the white folks had? Right, go ahead.
And we wore asafoetida and garlic and onions to keep from taking all them ailments.
Right, and that was something that we would do. Right, we always seen something wrong with like taking a bunch of goddamn medicine. So we had our little thing that they would wear the garlic and whatever that other vegetable or whatever that was, right? Whatever that they named, they would wear that so they wouldn't have to take on all the ailments, right? Go ahead.
I remember the battle being fit.
Mm-hmm.
The white folks buried all the jewelry and silver and all the gold in the Blue Ridge Mountains.
Right. So when the war was going on, right, then they would take and they would bury their treasure. They would take their treasure while they was out during the war. They would take and they would bury their treasure, specifically right here up in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Right. Go ahead.
Con. In Orange, Texas.
And where?
Orange, Texas.
Right. This is in Texas. Right. Go ahead.
Master made us all niggers. Master made all us niggers come together and get ready to leave because the Yankees was coming.
Right. So they would make them get ready to leave, right? Because one thing that the slave masters in the South understood is if they was caught mistreating those slaves out there, then they would be killed. Right. Go ahead.
We took a steamer.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was in slavery time. Sure enough, slavery.
Right. Sure enough, slavery. Go ahead.
Then we got on the steamship and pulled out to Galveston.
Right. They went to Galveston. Go ahead.
Then he told the captain to feed we niggers.
Right. So, now they on the little steamboats, right? And they going from one place to now they going to Galveston. And they were what it said, the captain of the boat, who was it? Somebody was told to feed the niggers, feed the black people, right? So the captain was told to feed the black people. Go ahead.
We was on the bay, not the ocean.
Mm-hmm. They was on the bay going to Galveston, not the ocean. Go ahead.
We left Galveston and went on trains for Houston.
Right, and then they put them on a train to go to Houston. Right. Go ahead.
After the war, Master Colonel Sims went to get the mail, and so he could call Daniel Ivory.
Right. So it was after the war, and their master went to go retrieve some mail. Go ahead.
The overseer, and say to him, go round to all the quarters and tell all the niggers to come up.
Right. And so he told the overseer, right, look, because he had got this letter, he had got this mail. So he told the overseer, look, go around to all the quarters, round up all the niggas, tell them, come here, I got something to tell them, right? Go ahead.
Come. I got a paper to read.
I got a paper to read to him, right? Go ahead.
They're free now, so you can get another job.
Hey, you free. You's free now. You can go get another job. Go ahead.
Because I ain't got no more niggers, which is my own.
Right, and that's what he's telling the overseer. Look, man, you can go find you another job now. You go find you another job. Why? Because I ain't got no more niggas. I ain't got no more niggas that I don't own them no more. Legally by law, I don't own them. Right? They are free. Right? The South lost. They are free now. I don't own them. So he's telling the overseer, you might as well just go find another job. Just, go to Walmart, go to a warehouse somewhere, go to Nixbo. What is it? Debo to Nixon?
Yep. Debo next door.
Next door. Right. Go to one of those places because I can't afford to hire you. Right. They free. I don't own them anymore. Go ahead.
Con. Niggers come up from their cabins nappy headed.
Hey, she said, remember he went to go send them all to come up so he could read this letter to him. And she said, the niggas came out the quarters all nappy headed. Go ahead.
Just like they grind to the field.
Right. The same way they go out to the field all nappy headed, the same way they come up to the quarters. Go ahead. Master
Colonel Sims say, Caroline, that's my mammy. You as free as me.
Right. So he says to the lady, you as free as me. Go ahead.
Pa said, bring you back, and eyes grind do just that. So go on and work, and I'll pay you and your 3 oldest children $10 a month ahead and $4 for Harriet.
Right. And so what he's doing is he's beguiling us. Right. He's beguiling us. Right. He knows that, okay, legally by law, I don't own them. They're free. But this is what I'm going to do to keep them in servitude. I'm going to keep them here, and I'm going to tell them that, I'm going to pay them for working the field, and I'm going to pay you $10 a piece for working the field. Right. And we all know how that turned out, because he told us how much he was going to pay us for working, but then charged us more than he said he was going to pay. So then we end up owing. So then essentially you become that slave again. Right. Because now you can't leave because you owe a debt to him. And now you have to work off your debt. All right. Read on.
I'm crying.
About to.
So you go on and work, and I'll pay you and your 3 oldest children $10. Salaki.
Right. This is Esau beguiling us. Yeah, you go ahead and work. It's okay. I'm gonna pay you $10 an hour, and I'm gonna pay your kids $10 a piece. Go ahead.
That and Harriet, that's me. And then he turned to the rest and say, now all yous will receive $10 a head till the crop is laid by.
Right, and he's telling them, he's turning them and say, y'all gonna receive $10 a piece as well. Go ahead.
Don't you know, before he got halfway through, over half them niggers was gone.
So before he got through, the smart Negroes was like, what? I'm out of here. The hell you talking about, man? I'll take my chances being hungry. I'll take my chances with the frostbite. I'll take my chance with the wilderness. What the hell you talking about giving me $10 for me to stay here and continue to be a slave? They said before he could finish his sentence, half the Negroes was gone, as they should have been. Right? Go ahead.
Them Ku Klux Klans come and ask for water with the false stomachs.
Right. So she's talking about how the Ku Klux Klan came, right? And how they asked for water with false stomachs, meaning they really didn't want the water. They just came and got the water. So like it, man. You can go ahead, Zarabakar.
Khan. And make like they was drinking 3 buckets full.
And they made it seem like they was drinking 3 buckets full. Go ahead.
They some terrible things.
Right. They horrible and terrible. The Ku Klux Klan, the Christians of today, right? The Ku Klux Klan of yesterday was your politicians of today. The Ku Klux Klan of yesterday was your Republicans and Democrats of today. It's your police officers of today. It's your leaders of America today. Right? Go ahead.
Come. But God seen it all.
But who?
God seen it all.
But who?
God seen it all.
That's one thing this sister understands. That the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The Lord sees it all. Right? All this being done by so-called Christians, right? America's supposed to be a Christian nation. But all this is being done under the guise of Christianity. And she understands that the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, and the Lord seen and sees everything that these Edomites is doing. And we understand that too. Right? Go ahead, Zariah Bakar.
And marked it down.
And what?
Marked it down.
And marked it down. Mark them. What that scripture say? Mark them which have, mark them. She said the Lord sees it and the Lord marked it, right? Go ahead.
We didn't have no law. Mm-hmm. We had bureau.
Right. They had a bureau. They didn't have like an actual law or court that they can go to. Go ahead.
Why in them days, if somebody stole anything from you, they had to pay you and not the law.
Right. They would pay you and not the court. Go ahead.
Now they had turned
or pay you and not the police. Go ahead.
Now they done turned that around and you don't get nothing.
Now they turn that around and you don't get anything. So if the slave master owes you something, if the white man owes you something, right, and you are owed something, you are supposed to be paid, you are due payment. They changed it around to where now you don't get anything. Now you can't get paid. Right now he can owe you. He can tell you, I'm going to give you $10 and I'm going to give your daughters $10 for working in this field. Now he don't have to give it to you and nothing's going to happen. Right? Go ahead.
Khan. One day, while masters was going hunting.
Let me see how much you got left.
A little paragraph.
Okay, go ahead.
One day, while masters was going hunting, Mistress Julia told her brother to give Miss Harriet a free whipping.
Right, and so still torturing Harriet, man. The lady told this other dude to give Harriet a free whipping, like just give her ass whipping on the house. Free whipping, man. What do you mean a free whipping? What the hell is a free whipping? Again, Harriet enduring a lifetime of abuse, of pain, right? And able to live long enough to give this account to whoever made this book so that her account is here for us to learn from. Right? Go ahead.
She was a nigger killer.
She was a what?
Nigger killer.
The lady who was mean, the white lady who hated Harriet was a what?
Nigger killer.
Was a what?
Nigger killer.
That's right. Go ahead.
Master Colonel Sam come home and he said, "You infernal sons of bitches."
Go ahead.
Don't you know there is 300 Yankees camped out here, and if they know you whipped this nigger the way you done, they kill all of us?
Right. So he came home, right? And he seen that she had got whooped. And he didn't come home and be mad because she got whooped. He was mad because he like, why the hell did you whip her knowing that the Yankees is nearby? If they know that you whipped her the way that you whipped her, they'll come and kill all of us. That's all he was worried about, was the repercussions of whipping her. Not because she got a free whipping. She was a free whipping. Not because she got beat for no reason. But just because she got beat so bad while the Yankees were close. That's Esau for you. And that was supposed to be the good white man. That was supposed to be the good one. Right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
If they find it out, I'll kill all you all.
And if they find out about you beating her the way you beat her, before they come and kill us, all of us, I'm gonna kill you before they come and kill us. That's what he's saying. Because if they find out, I'm gonna kill all of y'all. Right? All he's worried about is his own hide. Go ahead.
Oh, rich devils.
Oh, what?
Rich devils.
Oh, what?
Rich devils.
Oh, what? That's the end sentence, right?
Rich devils.
Uh-huh.
I'm here, but they is gone.
Damn right. You hear that? Do you understand that sentence right there? Could you read that one more time? It said, oh, rich devil. For one, she's calling them the same thing we call them. And we say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And we're not wrong for saying that. These are slaves, right? I can go in the book at least 2 or 3 times and show you where they're calling the oppressor the devil.
Right.
Why is it wrong when we do it, right? But also, another heavy point that she mentioned, she said, old devils. And then she says, they're not here, but would she read that last part?
Come. Old rich devils.
Uh-huh.
I'm here, but they is gone.
They're gone. Them pieces of garbage is gone. They beat her. They abused her for her whole life. And guess what? She outlasted them pieces of garbage. She outlasted them pieces of trash to where she's giving her account of what happened and they dead and gone in the goddamn grave.
Right.
You understand? They dead and gone and she outlived them. And that's the power. That's because of the power that we serve, right? And what we have to do is we have to remember things like this. We got to remember stuff like this so that it makes us love Black people more.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta look at the tragedy. You gotta look at the pain. You gotta look at the abuse that Black people went through and say, you know what? That's not right. And I'm not going to be the type of person that accept the people that do this to them. I'm not going to accept these people. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn around and get myself together. Zephaniah 2:1. Let me give you a solution before I get out of here. I'm going to get myself together and I'm going to put all of the love, put all of my brotherhood into Black and Hispanic men and women that look like me, that dress like me, that act like me, that go through the same poverty that like me, the same go through all the same hardships that I go through. I'm gonna put my love into them, and that's it. I'm gonna put so much love into Blacks. Now I'm gonna shift this love thing, right? I'm gonna shift it from America, and I'm gonna put all my love into the Black and Hispanic community so much that there is not going to be any love left for any race or nation of people. And you can't be mad at me for that, because no nation loves nobody else more than they love their own people. We just the only ones that do. Right. And that's why we're here, is to rearrange the way Black America thinks. Right. Go ahead, Zarabakar.
Khan. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
Gather yourselves together.
Gather yourselves together, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we must gather ourselves together. This is the only way that we are going to be able to fight against America. The only way we're going to have a chance to fight against America, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. We have to gather together because we are that nation that's not desired. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, right? And first, what you say, Desire One? First, we got to gather together so we can what? Elevate. What is it? Give it to me, if I could. You remember?
Separate.
First, we got to separate, right? That if we gather ourselves together, if we do what the Bible says, we're going to naturally separate. Naturally. We ain't even got to say we don't want to be around you or nothing like that. We just start to gather together and you're going to naturally separate, right? First, we have to separate. Then while we separated from these people, we need to be educated. We need to be educated on who the enemy is. We need to be educated on who we are. We need to be educated on who the king we serve and follow. We need to be educated on the God that our God. So that we can put away all the other ones. And once we separate, once we educate, then we can elevate, uplift ourselves, right? We can elevate ourselves, right? To be the people who the Lord called us to be. And the Lord called us to be a righteous nation that is above all other nations. And with that being said, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officers of Robert Carr. Like, it's like it, if I may. Damn, I forgot these books over here, man.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Ma'asharah means 10th in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund, which is the free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, or whatever size bottle, or whatever, donate to the priest.
Right.
Upcoming holy convocations. It's the Feast of First Fruits, Sunday, June 12th. Mm-hmm. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Also, we got the Midwest Fire Weekend in Chicago coming up July 21st to the 24th, I believe. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And start. With that being said, Men of Israel, Amajim, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Brotherhood, Yashmatah, Sar, friends and sisters. Sisters Amajim, we're going to give sisters one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatham by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Yashmatah, class dismissed.